Hi everyone, welcome back to the Rapid Rundown. It's March 5th, and let's dive right into what's making headlines tonight. Number 1, State of the Union, Our Democracy in Distress. In a recent address to Congress, President Trump delivered a speech marked by pettiness, hypocrisy, and falsehoods. Prior to the address, Trump threatened to withdraw funding from colleges that allow protests, initiated tariffs that hurt the stock market and our allies, and paused military aid to Ukraine. Trump advocated for a mandatory death penalty for police murderers while pardoning the January 6 rioters. There were numerous false claims, and Trump was interrupted by Representative Al Green, who was then escorted out for protesting Medicaid cuts. Here's Pete Buttigieg's follow-up.
Look, it was classic Trump, right? It was a lot of darkness and it was a lot of dazzle. But there was very, very little about the things that most affect our lives. I believe politics is about everyday life. It's about what government can and must do to make our everyday lives better. And the biggest issue on people's minds, the affordability of everyday life, is not something that got more than a few seconds of mention in his speech, nor did he mention some of the biggest things in dollar terms that he's doing. I mean, objectively, the biggest thing that he's working on is tax cuts for the rich. $5 trillion minimum. No mention in a speech that was, 2 hours? I think the longest of its kind ever, right?
Yeah.
But it's always like this, right? It's always going to be about, they're going to talk about Greenland and about pronouns and about mice and not about what's going to actually make our lives better.
The Supreme Court has ruled against the Trump administration's attempt to freeze approximately $2 billion in foreign aid, marking another legal defeat for this administration. Number 3, Alina Habba. She just suggested that veterans who lost their jobs due to budget cuts might not be fit to work. Let's be clear, these are the same people who he called heroes when it suited his campaign, but now they're being cast aside when they need support the most.
What the administration can do to at least help salvage their lives?
Well, as you know, we care about veterans tremendously. I mean, that's something the president has always cared about. Anybody in blue, anybody that serves this country. But at the same time, we have taxpayer dollars. We have a fiscal responsibility to use taxpayer dollars to pay people that actually work. That doesn't mean that we forget our veterans by any means. We are going to care for them in the right way, but perhaps they're not fit to have a job at this moment or not willing to come to work. And we can't, I wouldn't take money from you and pay somebody and say, sorry, they're not going to come to work. It's just not acceptable.
Our final thought this evening, Bill Nye sums up the mood of the moment.
What I'm saying is the planet's on fucking fire. There are a lot of things we could do to put it out. Are any of them free? No, of course not. Nothing's free, you idiots. Grow the up. You're not children anymore. I didn't mind explaining photosynthesis to you when you were 12, but you're adults now, and this is an actual crisis. Got it? Safety glasses off.
That's your rapid rundown for this evening. As always, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay loud.